Live.
Hey, good evening, everybody, and welcome back to the Sunday Night Fireside Chat with the boys and our special guest tonight. We will let him introduce himself first coming up, and then I will go last. So, good evening, Jim, and we're going to let you go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your new YouTube channel.
I'm Be the Rider PA. I have a 2018 Road Glide special that I pretty much converted into a dresser, and I'm doing riding and traveling and put it on YouTube.
All right. Yeah, great travel videos here lately, too. You just came back from the Smokies?
Smokies, Tennessee, Asheville, Tennessee, Robinsonville, Tennessee, the Iron Horse. So I got like a whole week of videos to go through yet.
And you guys stayed at the Hiltons and the Hyatts, is that right?
Yeah, the Hilton and the Hyatt. Yep, sure did.
Or the campgrounds, one or the other.
Campgrounds. Yeah, one or two.
All right. We'll go ahead and let Colin bring it in.
Hey, everybody. My name's Colin. I go by Bronco Ride on YouTube. Glad that, Jim, you're joining us. I met you last year in West Virginia when we did a big meetup out there. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I know you didn't talk a lot about yourself yet. Aren't you, you're president of a hog chapter, correct? Is that?
Yeah, the director of a hog chapter, yeah.
So that's very cool. And I know from last year, we've talked about this in other streams. We had a fast group, medium, and a slow group, the one that Bob attended. And I believe, Jim, you were the fast group. So you were leading. And because I remember when we were on we were the medium group, and then your group came up and just like 9 or 10 of you just passed right by us. I'm like, okay. You keep going.
Yep.
That was you. So you were leading that group. So welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Bob?
Now, Colin, as Jim will teach you that when you have a group ride, you have to have somebody holding up the rear with the slow group, right, Jim, to make sure that everybody's not lost. And
right.
That's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it. So my name is Bodine52. If you don't know me, I go by Bob. Jim and I know each other. It's great to see that you opened up a new channel, and it's some good stuff on there, man. I was pretty impressed. So live in Michigan right now, drive a ride, a 2018 Ultra Limited, and also have a 2000 Road King.
All right, guys and girls out there, you know me by Harley Day Rider, and I've been saying that, a.k.a. HDR. I ride a 2018 Road Glide Ultra. Travel around, do the best we can to see things and bring you new exciting stuff each and every week. During the summer, we get 3 videos a week. And during the winter months, I try to keep it at 2. So just hard to ride in the snow. All right. So these guys are really antsy tonight. And the reason they are really sweating is because we normally share our questions with each other, usually midweek, like by Wednesday. They have no idea tonight what I am asking them.
And I'm not happy about that, dude. We are friends. And I'll let Colin talk this too. Colin and I are preparers. We want to know what's out there. We want to be spontaneous, but you've given us nothing. When we text, message back and forth where there's questions, nothing. I am uncomfortable tonight. This could be bad, Colin. What do you think?
You're enjoying the hell out of this, aren't you, HDR?
I am really, yes. I prepared these this morning. I had a fresh cup of coffee. I will address real quick, Chips Hill. We slept very well in the tent. There's an upcoming video to discuss that. So we will be telling you more about the camping trip. But yeah, I'm pretty excited. So Jim, are you ready for these questions also? Because you're going to be first.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, we always let the guest go first.
Under the bus.
We always let the guest go first.
Some
of these are written with you in mind too. So I think you can answer them pretty well. Then we'll go with Colin, then Bob, and then I'll pick it up. And you will see these come up on your screen, guys. Does these come up on the viewer screens also? When I pull these banners up?
It should.
It should, yep.
Yeah.
All right.
Leave some questions, by the way, in the comments.
Jack, we're not helping you. No.
Yeah.
Now, here's the bad thing.
John, you want help?
When I pull this up, these two guys are going to have a chat. I should text it to you so they don't know what we're going to ask. But no, we won't do that. All right. So have you ever been caught in the rain while riding your bike on a highway? And if you have, how do you handle it?
Well, geez, there's 2 answers to that.
All right.
I can give you examples. I was on my way to Sturgis with 2 other guys, and my old lady was on a back, and another woman was on another bike, and there was another chick on the other bike. So we're riding. We're out west, and it's 85, 90 degrees. It's cooking hot. You could see the rain coming. So we turned the 4-way zone, and I kept going. Everybody else followed me. So I got off the bikes, and she was not happy. They were soaked to the bone. But we dried out, and
Uh-oh. There is technical difficulties on his camera.
That was a good answer, though.
That was a good answer. That was a real good answer.
It was a good answer, but we have the circle of death going on right now.
All right, so we'll pick it up with Colin then.
So absolutely, I've got caught in the rain. It just depends. I mean, there was one time I think it was a couple years ago when I did when I was heading up to New England, and it was really, really bad. And then I had to pull over, and then these guys I was with, so I went over an underpass because I didn't want to get like pummeled, but I mean, it was nasty, like lightning everywhere. And then these guys had, at the time I didn't have like the little radar app. So they broke out this radar app and said, it's clearing up, we can go. So I'm, of course I followed them, and I think, hey, yeah, it's cool, I'll go with you. Sure enough, I go about a mile, and they obviously didn't know how to read the radar because it was worse. So I just got absolutely pummeled. I had to pull over the next exit and then sit under an Exxon for about an hour and a half to let that rainstorm pass. Depends on, if it's like super heavy, I'm not going to ride in it. But if it's like light rain, I'll definitely ride through it.
All right, Bob?
Can I read this question slow again since I haven't read it?
Yeah, we don't know.
So I don't see him on, but I got to tell you a story about P.A. Bearded Biker. First time I rode with him, him and I met for lunch. We were going for a ride, and it looked like it was going to rain. And if we would have turned around and headed back towards our way, it looked better. But he's like, no, let's go through Ohio, right? Let's go through Ohio. And I'm like, dude, are you sure? And he's like, yeah, I'm really sure. Of course, we get 5 miles down the road. It is a torrential rain. So I said to him, PA, how is it that it's pouring down rain, storming, and we are going out of the state that we live in? So, yeah, I've been caught in some rain and learned my lesson for sure. Welcome back, Jim.
Welcome back. We got you back.
Thanks.
Yeah, so this past weekend, it was Thursday, actually, we were riding to Erie. And it's funny, we stopped to eat at one of Bob's Sheets stores here in Pennsylvania. And, we gave you a little money there. So as soon as we're done, Miss HR looks at the sky and she goes, I'm going to put my rain jacket on because I think it might rain. I said, no, it's not going to rain. It's fine. We get about another 10 minutes down the road, and there was nothing but rain coming down. So I did that too. I hit an overpass. We stopped, and she didn't say it in the video, but we were really impressed on how the cars were coming down. Even the tractor trailers would move all the way to the passing lane and stay completely away from that motorcycle. We were blown away how nice people were, but just shows that, there's good people in the world. So, but put our rain suits on, kept trucking. But there's a lot of times if we're riding and you can see blue sky ahead, we're like, Jim, we just keep going because you're going to dry out. It's going to happen.
I actually kind of enjoy it sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes it cools you off. Yeah.
It's a relief. It's a big relief. You're all hot and now you get cold off. It's a relief.
Yeah, it's a relief. All right. Now we'll go with the next question.
The anticipation.
I know we all ride two up at times because I know Jim is a little different at this point. When or how do you tell your wife or passenger, significant other, to get on the bike and at what time? Because I know Colin also rides his daughter. So, Jim, we'll let you pick it first.
Well, pretty much if she's riding with me, she knows when to get on it. I back out, then the foot peg goes down, and then she just jumps on. So it's kind of like an unworded thing now. It's just real easy for us to do. So
she doesn't tap you on the shoulder or anything? Or
no, she'll just maybe put her hand on my shoulder and step and swing over the bike. That's about it.
Okay, cool. Colin?
I would a similar answer. When my daughter gets on, I'll be on first, and then she'll jump on. Now my wife, forget about it. She doesn't quite get it. So like I'll be on, and she'll jump on. She'll smack her helmet against mine, and I'll almost fall over. But she's getting better. I'll give her credit. She is getting better. But normally, definitely after I get on, and I plant my feet down, so I don't fall over.
Right on.
So I may get in trouble for this one, but the answer is I say get on, woman. Is that not right? Wait. Now, Bells, please, Bells Rides Moto, support me here, right? I will tell you that normally I've been standing up, putting it in neutral. We're already mic'd up, so I say, hey, I'm ready. But after the video with Glide Arkansas, when he was on, now I'm actually having her get on the bike when it's on the stand before it started. And it is much easier.
This is a good segue. We're going to talk about next week since we're kind of addressing this.
Yes. So, Jack, if you don't mind, since we're not doing this scripted at all.
It's very, very
scripted. It's our show now, Bob.
What are you talking about?
Jack, who? So, next week we are going to have our wives on, which I am convinced is a very, very, very bad idea. Jim, agree, right? So the three of Mrs. HDR, Mrs. Bronco Ride, and Mrs. Bodine 52 will be on. So over the next half hour or so, if you can start writing some questions that you want us to make sure that we ask the wives, we'll make sure to get that in. And, of course, we will be prepared, just saying.
Mine will not shut up.
I'm going to say something that's going to get me in trouble. I'm telling you, it's not good.
We could probably just let them run the show. We could just go riding together. It'd be just fine.
That's a better idea. Just let them alone and go ride and let them talk about cooking and cleaning.
See, Pete gets it. Bad idea.
Anyway, the last part about getting my wife on the bike, like Bob said, we have the Senna's hooked up. So she knows that, first of all, the bike has to be started. I don't want her on it when I'm starting it because, if I have it in gear, that's going to be a bad news thing. But usually I take it off the side stand. I know we were told leave it on, but then you got to pick that weight up. Not that the wife's heavy, but you get it. But yeah, she usually does like Jim. She'll tap me on the shoulder and she'll say, "Are you ready? I got the front brake on. I'm ready." She gets on the bike and we go. So my daughter one time decided to stand on the passenger peg on the left side and stand there and talk to me. Try that sometime. So you're just sitting there with the weight. It's like get on or get off. So make up your mind. You guys ready for the next question?
Do we have a choice?
No. Yeah. Boy, is this stressful.
This is a good one. So this is one that I'm kind of addressing Bob and Jim, and probably even Colin, because Colin's done a lot of this.
I'm sorry. Can you highlight that last column by Blue Bike Girl?
Oh, she really?
And you know what? We are no longer we are now no longer gonna call her Colin Stalker. She's a part of the group now. So welcome to the family, Blue Bike Girl. You're right. You're gonna not flirt with Colin next week.
Yeah, that would be bad. She knows about you.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, guys. When traveling on the bike over great distances, more than 100 miles per day, what is your policy for how often do you stop?
Ooh.
Jim?
Well, if the weather's great and so forth, usually about 150 to 160 miles, somewhere around there. Or when I about a half a tank or need gas. So it could be either one.
Unfortunately, I have two herniated discs. So with that, I have to ride about 80 to 100 miles, and then I have to stretch for probably about 10, 15 minutes. So after that, I can ride, but it's tough. So that's why I bought a super really comfortable seat, and I have my padded underwear that I had to bring up again from last week, and then I also have this cushion I sit on to help my back. And so probably it only takes me 10, 15 minutes, stretch out a little bit, then I'm good to go.
Good.
Does padded underwear count against the man card?
It's the best thing ever.
I gotta ask, right?
Just
I didn't even know it. I didn't know it existed until last week.
I sent you the Amazon link last week. I know you ordered it.
Yeah. I'm not talking about that. I will tell you, for me, I rode 150 today. If it's me, it's probably 100 to 150. If Mrs. Bodine is on, it's probably more. Probably less. Probably 100 miles I'll stop for her. But since I have a new seat, I think I can go even longer. But I can't give any more information out than that. So,
yeah, we normally do like Jim, 100, 150 miles tops because we either need gas or you just need a break, right? You need to get off the bike, stretch your legs out a little bit. And that all depends on how long you take. There's never been a rule with us. It could be 10 minutes or it could be a hot dog break, which could turn into a half hour. So depending on where you're getting and how fast you're getting there.
HDR, by the way, I don't know that I should give you this heads up since you kind of didn't give us one. Your bride is on, so be careful.
No, she's not. She's on the treadmill. She can't be.
Well, she's on the treadmill talking about padded underwear, so that's a whole different story. Look what you started.
Somebody call. Hey, wife, you're on the treadmill. What are you doing? She. See the dedication to motorcycling. She's listening to the show.
She's come a long way in the last couple of years.
I know. Now she's like, where are we going camping next? She can set the tent up in 5 minutes.
Hey, Jack, your video, by the way, of you two camping was one of my favorites. Probably a good one, man. Probably because Mrs. HDR was in it. So if you haven't checked that out, you should. I'm also saying all these nice things because she's listening right now and on. But I will tell you, it was a real cool video. There's one part that Mrs. HDR was bending over to get something. I don't know if you remember that part. And Mrs. Bodine is watching that, and she says, she's going to kill him. So
is that
how that went, Mrs. HDR? So.
Is that when I told her they're going to demonetize me? And she said, fat ass, fat ass, fat ass.
Yeah.
It's like,
which is not true, but
she said, you can edit that. I said, I am leaving that in.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
But she had, she had to pre-watch the whole video this morning before I was allowed to post it.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm just telling you.
I just want to make sure.
That's the way it worked. All right. So I guess we're up for the rapid fire questions. We have tonight, I got 55. So I think we get these.
Holy crap.
Guys, I wanted to be unscripted.
I am so done with you.
Hey, Colin, do you think our therapist is open on Sunday night?
See?
Oh, jeez.
Under the bus again.
Yeah. Help us, Jim. Help us.
Oh, no, you guys are done. Sorry.
I was going to tell you, did you see Blacktop Devils? He said Mrs. HDR took that shot of whiskey like a champ. I told her about this comment this morning. She goes, it really wasn't that big of a swig. I said, well, he just enjoyed that.
She stuck her head backwards when she was drinking from it. That's a big swig.
I know. She handed me the flask and it was empty. I was like, where did it go? But no, I'm just kidding.
I don't know if it was a cute couple type share the flask thing, or she was freaked out having to stay with you in the woods and she was going to drink it.
She figured if I'm drunk and passed out, I don't have to worry about the bears.
There you go.
All right. Anyway, let's go with the rapid fire questions. She said, she said, thanks, Blacktop Devil. We did watch both of their videos, Blacktop and Mrs. Devil's videos, before we went camping.
And they're back.
That helped us. All right, guys. You can elaborate on these if you want a little bit because we usually have time left. So, Jim, if you want to elaborate something. The first one probably won't need much of elaboration. You ready to go?
Hey, shoot away. Throw me under the bus.
All right. Mustard or ketchup?
Mustard.
Mustard by far.
Mustard.
All right. I'm a ketchup guy.
Of course
Really?
you
Well, hey, there has to be somebody different in this show.
Yeah.
All right. On your baked potatoes, sour cream or butter?
Both.
and bacon. All
Bacon,
three.
if option, yeah.
Wow. I'm just a butter guy.
Yeah, I'm
Who
kind of
cares
both.
about cholesterol?
Both. Here's one I wrote because I know Bob so well. Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Coffee.
Why do people drink coffee?
It's the best.
Occasional tea. I do not drink coffee.
Oh, mute him.
He doesn't. We had this long discussion going to Kinzu Dam, and we just couldn't. Myself and Miss Fisher about fell off the bike because they drink. They in the Bodine's house in the morning they have Diet Cokes.
Yeah.
I'm not ever coming to Michigan now.
No,
It's
there's no
a-
reason to go.
Well, since you've never been invited, you won't miss it much.
Good retort.
Hey, Jim and HDR, when you guys showing up, by the way?
That is
No.
kind of funny.
Hey, but I do have a coffee pot in my house.
Well, that's promising.
Yep.
And Henry was talking to me today on the bikes about going to buy his new motorcycle, so he's pretty close
I love Henry.
because he wants to come to Michigan with me.
Good. Anytime.
All right, guys. Here's one that talks a little bit about your psychic.
Hmm.
Pants on first or your socks on first?
Socks.
Normally underwear.
No, I'm talking pants.
That wasn't part of the question.
Unless
Yeah,
you're
we-
Orlando, I mean, that's okay. I mean, I won't judge. Pants.
Really?
You put on your socks last? Or
No, I put my socks on first, so then when I jump into the jeans, I don't hurt my feet or slip.
I bet you wear skinny jeans, don't you?
Yeah, I can't wear padded underwear with them or they don't fit. So yeah.
With his ponytail.
We haven't even been drinking tonight. This is
Oh.
I usually put my socks on first because if I get my pants on, I can't bend over far enough to get my socks on.
Amen, brother.
See, sometimes you have to have the truth, right?
Pretty much.
Nice.
That's
All right, guys, here's one. Let me see. Let me look at Jim. I know. Colin, I don't know. Bob, I know. Have you ever colored your hair?
Oh God.
No. I
Any
just
of,
shave it off. I just
any
shave
of
it
your
off.
any of your hair?
No.
Yeah, actually, I did once.
All right.
Oh,
And it was in college during my experimental years. Let's put it that way. And then my roommate at the time said I looked like the Purita Dog Chow, logo, like how it was like I had blonde and black. It was bad. It was bad.
Does chest hair count?
Yep. You colored your chest hair?
oh, man.
No, I have not colored my hair.
Oh, I do.
I wore a ponytail, but I didn't color my. You
I
colored
use-
your beard?
I use just for men and color my beard. I do.
Did you had a ponytail, Bob?
Yeah, it's one of those fake ones that I wear when Jack's wearing a man bun when we're riding together.
I used to have one a long time.
Remember when we're on that paddle boat together? and Bob, Mary did find one at the campground. She's going to tell you about it all on the next video. coming out.
HDR, if something bad happens to you and you have like your last wish, and it's a paddle boat, then I'll go on the ride with you. But until then,
All right.
nah.
All right. Here's one for you. Do you wake up with an alarm clock or just your body wakes up on its own?
Could be both.
It's both, but normally I get up on my own.
All right.
On my own, but the problem with that is that we just got some new furniture and Mrs. Bodine says no more TV in the bedroom. See, she rules me. And now the cable box that shows what time it is now out of the room. So it's a problem. But for me, no, I wake up pretty much same time every day.
They do put a clock on your phone. I know they do. I
know, but then I hit it and it's bright. It wakes.
Well, I can tell you what, Friday morning, for some strange reason at the campground, both of us was up at 5:45. I stepped out of the tent and took a pee in the tree, and Mrs. HDR was totally pissed. You know why she was mad at me? Because she couldn't take a pee in the tree. So she had to walk to the bathhouse, which was about a couple blocks away. She said, I'll hold it until later. I said, that's on you.
Did you get a video of her screaming all the way down? Walking?
Yeah.
No, but yeah, I mean, that's the difference.
We wouldn't think any different of her if she went into the bushes.
Hey, I used to work with this girl, though, and you guys should ask your wives. Do they know what a P-Easy is for women? Does anybody in the chat room, any women in the chat room, know what a P-Easy is? Look it up on Amazon. It's a great tool for women.
This is why we should be prepared for this going downhill.
What'd you say,
That funnel?
That's
That funnel thing?
They put under
Yeah, it is a funnel. You can actually, a woman pulls her zipper down, just stick the funnel thing in there, and it just shoots right out.
That'll be my first question next week, gang.
Yeah, ask them if they've ever used a P-Easy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Bob, I'll send you that link tonight.
I think that should be a part of every woman's concert going experience.
We should probably move on, eh?
All right, let's go. So, if you use an alarm, are you the type of person that keeps hitting the snooze button?
No. I'm up and going.
Oh yeah, I'll hit it like 3 or 4 times. Absolutely.
Yes, once it's 8 minutes, but I don't use it anymore. So, but when I did, once.
Yeah, I never use a snooze alarm. Just it irritates me. Usually when the alarm goes off, I got to pee. I got to go.
At least you know the woods.
Okay, so when you go on trips, any trip, you're on a vacation, you fly to Hawaii, Cancun, Mexico, wherever you go. Do you tend to wake up early or do you tend to sleep in when you're on vacations?
Vacations? Yeah. Tend to sleep in a little bit. Depends on what's going on. I usually sleep in some.
It's kind of like the last question. My body clock is set, so I'll get up the same time every day, regardless if it's a vacation or not.
All right.
If I sleep till 7:00 when I'm on vacation, that's late. So normally it's 5:30, but I got to make myself go back to sleep for sure.
All right. If you see in the chat, Miss HDR said, "Get off the pee easy," because I told her I was going to buy her one.
Yeah, and hey,
I don't know how she's walking on the treadmill and typing. That is amazing.
Because she's in better shape than all of us, and she can do two things. That's why
I should go down and film this. This was important.
I'm sure she'd love that.
My question is kind of like Colin. My internal clock doesn't allow me to sleep in. So when we are on vacations, that's why I like taking the laptop, because I can sit and edit videos and stuff when Miss HDR is sleeping. So, all right. Ever have one beer for lunch when you're out on the motorcycle? Or anytime, maybe at dinner, you're out, you have a beer.
Oh, I don't drink beer, so I usually have a Jack and Coke.
Oh yeah, whiskey.
I don't drink beer. I drink whiskey.
Beer, I just drink something that's 10 times
Or
stronger.
I'll have a little wine. The wife's give me some wine tonight. She's like, drink some wine.
And I know that the motorcycle show, that's the way I got Jim to come up to talk for a while. I was like, I got some nightcaps. He's like, whiskey? I said, yeah. They followed us right to the room.
I'm pretty good about, I don't drink and ride, but if I have like one beer, I'll be fine. So like, yes, I've had a beer before at like dinner if I'm like out and stuff, but normally.
All right.
Keep it pretty low.
Sure.
If I'm in the cage, I will. I don't drink a beer if I'm riding.
Okay. Because wrecking the car is better.
Exactly.
Right.
I don't want to hurt the bike. Come on.
Yeah. Okay, you got a point. Let's see. Okay, so you're the type of guy, you're out with your wife somewhere, you're out, and Mary, Miss HDR hates this. I call it, you're out clubbing together one night.
Clubbing.
Isn't that what we did when we were like 20?
20 years old, 25, we go out to the club. Yeah.
What? Okay. Anyway, okay, you're at a wedding. Are you guys dancing, or you guys dancing, or sitting in the corner watching others dance with your wives?
We're dancing.
All
We're doing
right.
something besides sitting.
Right.
Oh, I'm dancing. What's that? What's the wedding song on every? I can't think of it. They played every wedding.
The Electric Slide.
Oh, that's one of them. Do you know the? I bet you know the words to that, don't you?
Yeah.
What's the other one? Macarena.
The Macarena. There's one more.
There's one other two.
The Electric Slide.
Slide.
Oh, that's
slide.
Yeah.
I don't have any rhythm, but I'll dance.
Hey, you don't need rhythm.
I'm half gone, so who cares?
That's right.
Dance.
Dance. I do too. We get out and we dance
When you're clubbing too, right?
when we're clubbing. What's wrong with clubbing, guys? Why are you getting on me about clubbing?
Jack's a clubber.
Is that part of the question?
That means you have to stay out past 9 o'clock. It ain't happening.
Yeah, clubbing doesn't count at 7:30, right?
No.
Hey, I'm going to tell you guys a story too. We were out one night somewhere and I said, let's stop and get a beer down at this local bar called the Mousetrap. She said, I've never been in there. So it's a nice place. Let's go.
Oh, yeah.
We stopped
Love
in.
the Mousetrap.
Yeah, we stopped in for a beer. We're sitting there. The band's setting up. We said, what time's the band starting? The guy said 9:30. We said, yeah, we'll never see it. We got to get out of here. We got to get out and get home. That's past our bedtime.
Then they're always late, too. They say 9:30. They don't really start till 10.
Exactly.
Then by the time you've drank enough, about 11 o'clock, they actually sound good then.
Oh, yeah. Did you see Miss HDR said, shut up. Don't ever say clubbing again.
We do. You are the clubbing couple, Mrs. HDR.
I'm laughing so hard, guys. I got the air on and I'm still sweating.
So,
All right.
So Colin and I are not the only ones that are pissed at you tonight, right? Is that it?
Yeah, she didn't see these questions either.
Oh,
Okay. So, all right. So you and your beautiful spouse is going to do something for the night. Would you go out to the movies or would you rather watch them at home?
Oh, I got a surround sound and a big screen TV. We just sit home.
Sit home.
I invite people over just to come to my house to watch movies. You ain't been over a drinking night. Come over, we'll do some shots, watch some movies.
Sleep on your big couch.
Yep. Get heated, too.
I'm glad
You have a heated couch?
Yeah. Yep. And it massages and heats.
Oh,
Massages, too.
I'm definitely at home, but I could answer this differently. But this is a family-friendly channel, so
I'm not asking you what movies you're watching.
definitely at home.
All right.
I'm a home guy too, but I would like to go to one of those new movie theaters that serves drinks and stuff to you.
Yeah,
they
like
have
a
one of
dinner theater.
I have not been to one of those yet, so I want to do that for sure.
And it's like the one that's close to me. They don't have like you can get like a 20-ounce beer, like in a glass and everything, sit down in one of those recliners. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, we do have those here also. They are pretty nice. If it's a boring movie, you will go right to sleep though, one of those big recliners. But we tend to watch them at home unless there's something really interesting out. Then we will go out occasionally. But all right.
At this point, we have pause. So if you have to go, you can hit pause and go to the bathroom and come back.
That's a good point too. You're right. Yeah.
At our age, that happens a few times.
Yes, that happens a lot. That happens on occasions. You're drinking that big, tall beer.
AARP.
That's why they need urinals on the back of the movie seats.
Yep.
All right. I might have just invented something, huh?
Yeah, save the trip.
Can you please come up into Jack's office and calm him down, please?
All right. Popcorn with movies, or do you like chips with movies?
Oh, I like chips and ice cream.
You dip the chips in ice cream?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's manly.
I like popcorn.
Popcorn.
In the movie butter stuff.
Yeah.
I like popcorn too, except when you go to the movies and eat it, you're just like, after you eat it, you're like, man, it was good at the time, but you're like, oh my God, right? So I would say at home it's usually chips, but popcorn's a good idea. I think we'll have some tonight now that you mentioned that.
Do you douse it in the movie theater with the butter? You know that.
I roll the dice and have them twirl it or whatever the heck they do, right? So living on the edge, Bodine 52 twirls with popcorn butter.
I kind of
club it.
Yeah, I kind of do like the I like the popcorn with the movie, but
Hey,
Colin's right that the butter's more like yellow water. I mean, you could fill the bowl up with it. It's so thin, you know.
It's the best.
Hey Jack, do they have buttered popcorn when you're clubbing?
Yes, most clubs do. Most good clubs do have it. Yeah.
Go, Jack.
Mrs. HDR in the comments, she's blowing them up. He doesn't have rhythm, and we don't go clubbing. Dude, this could be the last time you're on the show.
Next week, guys, it's going to be the HDR hour. I'm just telling you. And I'll be with their wives.
He's been banned.
See why I didn't share them with you? Okay, so you're going out to a nice dinner. Beautiful place you found at the end of Sturgis Row, and it's kind of empty. And you have a choice of a beautiful 5-pound lobster or a 26-ounce steak. Which one do you want?
Both.
No, you get one.
No, both.
You can tell he's your buddy. He's gotta go to both.
I can't get a straight
It's
answer.
a choice. They come together. It's surf and turf. It comes together. That's it.
All right, that's fine. You can have both.
Some of you guys might know this about me. I am so anti-seafood. I love to fish, but I will not eat insipid fish. It's nasty. So I will eat a 26-ounce steak any day of the week.
And you live by the water. Too.
I know. I live right next to Maryland. I'm in crab country, and I won't touch them.
The Maryland blue crab is the best crab on the planet, and you don't like it?
You want me to share my story?
Sure.
Share your story.
Why I don't like seafood. So I've said this in a couple of videos. So when I was 10 years old, and we lived actually in Chicago, Illinois, or probably about 30 miles south in a town called Naperville. Anybody's in the Illinois area. And it was my mom's birthday, and I wanted to take her out for a nice dinner. Remember, I'm 10, and she said, we can go anywhere, you know. So I took her to this nice seafood place. And then after I looked at the menu, I said, I'd like this. And she said, okay. And at the time, I didn't know any better, so I ordered a trout. And she said, well, whatever you order. Now, it's making out that she's like this mean woman, but she's not. She's like, dude, you got to make sure you eat it all. So they brought the trout out. And I kid you not, it came out and it had the head on it and everything. So it had the eyes. And then she literally, what she said, she's like, you need to eat all that. So I had to pick around the eyes and the head and get all the fish meat. And ever since that, since I've been 10 years old, I will not eat fish. I won't touch Mrs. Paul's, any of that fried stuff. I won't eat crabs. I won't eat anything because of that traumatic moment in my life, because she forced me to eat that damn trout. And I know it's pathetic and I know it's sad. And she still laughs at me about it. Even when I talked to my mom today, she's like, you still talk about that? You won't eat seafood? She sure does. So that's why I will not eat seafood. Isn't that pathetic?
Hey, dude, go over and sit on the couch. Let's talk about it.
Oh.
Wow. Now I almost feel bad about joking about seafood with you. Not quite, but
seafood.
Yeah, I like some seafood. I would say of those two, I'd pick a steak.
Yeah, I'm more of, well, if you go to Maine like we did last year, I wanted lobster really bad, and we didn't stay long enough to have a lobster dinner. I did have lobster bisque, but and if I'm down south around the cattle ranches, I want a steak. I want it the freshest wherever it's coming from. So I say kill it and slab it, right? Or slab it and cook it.
For those vegetarians watching tonight,
this is not a vegetarian family-friendly show.
Please disregard that.
Grab your salad fork and run. Okay, this one I wrote actually thinking of Jim because I think he might have one of these. So, so you guys, I don't know if you have one or not, but does a wallet chain make you more of a biker?
Not really. It's not the reason you have one, anyways. So,
You want to give us the reason? Do you have one? I don't remember.
oh, I have one.
Yeah.
It's a weapon.
Oh, it's a weapon.
You want to clip it? You can smack somebody with that. You can.
All right, wait.
Besides keeping your wallet from falling out on the highway.
Well, yes.
Yeah, that's about it.
Well, Bob has a purse, right? You have one of those band purses.
You get him little fanny packs.
It's a fanny pack. He keeps padded underwear in them.
That's not a biker thing, dude. Not at all.
No, that's not a biker thing.
Hey, HDR, be careful, dude. I got pictures of you modeling fanny packs, and I can share that on my next video. You keep talking.
Well, I was looking at that picture. He has that picture.
Had the leg bag in Cleveland.
Yeah, in Cleveland. Yeah.
Oh, I got pictures.
And,
he has
and
a picture of me too.
That's still a fanny pack. Sorry.
He has a picture of me too, holding up that red little glacé thing I bought so we could ride on the paddle boat, but he's never been on it with me yet.
And you know what? My nephew, who was in Afghanistan, wears one, and he says, and he keeps a firearm in it. I said, dude, it's still a fanny pack. I don't care what you keep in it.
It's European.
Colin, do you have one?
I don't have the chain. I just I'll throw it in the saddlebag because I don't like it. Because if you guys are a Seinfeld reference, you remember the big wallet that he had?
Who was that?
Yeah,
Seinfeld, where he had this huge.
Oh
wallet,
yeah.
Back issues. I have to condense my wallet, but I usually throw it in the saddlebag if I'm riding. But I don't wear the chain. No.
Bob?
I bought one to make me cool, and I've never used it.
I figured this way. Mrs. HDR tells me I'm cool enough, and I don't need one.
I'm sure she says that.
She says that all the time. So, and also now that I know it's a weapon, I probably should buy one. But I am like Colin. I always put my wallet in the saddlebag, keep it locked up. So
I'm a money clip guy, so I have it in my front pocket anyway, so it's not that big of a deal. But
our mafia guy, huh?
Yeah, you carry money, like cash money.
Cash? Wow.
I don't need that from my bank.
$100.
Yeah. Well, that's how it is when you own all the sheet stores in Pennsylvania.
Oh.
By the way, Motorcycle Mama got your question for next week. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm writing a couple of them down, Bob, because they'll always for next week.
Thank you.
All right. So when you're leaving the house, there's different people. I see a lot of these people out this time of year, and it's very funny to me because you guys know I ride year round. So, and I know Bob does, and I've seen Colin out in the winter, and I know Jim will ride in the winter because we've ridden together when it's 35 degrees out. But these people come out of the house in the summer like, yeah, I got my Harley Davidson motorcycle. Do you believe that, or do you normally gear up before you ride? You put your chaps on, your vest, your quarter helmet, so you resemble some kind of biker dude.
Depends. What do you mean? In the summer or in the winter? How do you dress? I just dress according to the weather. So
okay. But you're not dressing. This is. Let me see if I rephrase that. Yeah, or do you ride with just normal clothing? I mean, because you're an American biker.
No, I always wear boots. I always wear jeans, and I'll wear a cutoff shirt, or I'll wear a mesh coat if I'm on the highway.
Okay,
I'll dress accordingly. But yeah, I don't wear tennis shoes and ride motorcycles.
But you're not dressing like Sons of Anarchy to pretend you're some kind of biker.
No, that's just all. That's all fake stuff.
Right. Okay. Colin, do you dress to pretend, or you dress to ride your bike?
I dress to ride. I mean, no, I don't wear chaps. That's the one thing I've never worn. But always, like Jim, you said, I always wear proper footwear. I'll wear jeans. I normally always wear long. I mean, I rode today coming home from work and I wore this. So I always wear like long sleeve. Normally I'll throw on a armored hoodie. Then I have a couple armored hoodies or a mesh jacket in the summertime because it really gets hot. And then I've got a couple leather jackets for winter and stuff. But no, I don't. I can't wear chaps. I don't know why. I just never got into it.
And there goes the blue bike girl. She's gone, no longer here now that you don't wear chaps.
And she's like, "How did you bring me there?" Okay, like I'm done. No chaps. That was her.
I would, for me, I'm kind of like Jim. The old dress for the slide type thing. I'm always going to wear jeans. I'm always going to wear boots. I'm always going to wear gloves and a helmet. Most of the time, I'll wear a mesh jacket, but there are times today was warm that I wore a long sleeve shirt. I know, Colin, you use those sleeves.
Yeah.
I basically wore the long sleeve shirt just for the sun, quite frankly. But dress for the slide. All right.
Yeah, that mesh jacket is a big help on long rides. You don't get burned. It helps you stay cool. I used to think, well, I don't need that. Boy, is that nice on long trips.
Actually, doesn't you feel like it keeps you cooler, Jim?
It does keep you cooler because you're sweating, just like in the desert. Moisture and it evaporates. It lets the air through, and it evaporates, and it cools you down. And plus, it keeps the UV rays from cooking you and turning you all red. So, and then you don't get a sunburn. You don't suffer. So I tell everybody you should get one of those.
And it's funny because if you look at the Cowboys, how they always wear long sleeve shirts. We asked when we was out west, and they said it actually keeps you cooler because the sun's not drying you up. So,
right.
You guys know I'm kind of on all sides of the fences. I don't have to dress to look like a biker. Everybody knows I ride every year. I ride all year. I dress appropriately as much as I can. Today I was out with Henry. We both had short sleeve shirts on, and he was yelling at me because I make him wear his full face helmet so I can record him. But he would ride with a bandana if he wanted. That's how he likes to ride. But he's 72. He has the right to ride however he wants to ride. So.
How old is he?
He is 72 years old.
So you basically forced a 72-year-old man today to wear a full face helmet so you could get a vlog in? I just clarified.
Well, wait. Let me rephrase that. First, I forced him into buying a $700 showy helmet and a Senna setup at Cycle Gear. And we got in the car, and he goes, "Man, you cost me a lot of money." And I said, I cost Bodine $30,000. I said, "So you're lucky."
I've always considered you the grandfather of YouTube. You are the nicest guy in the world on and off the bike. But in your videos, now I realize that you're a little abusive towards your friends. Is it?
No, I'm not. It's all about the video.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
No,
is that the next question? Is it about the video?
No, never.
Well, he made you buy a bike, Airbo. Then he took him down there and showed him a road glide, and he bought a road glide. So I made him pay $30,000 for a road glide.
Yeah, he cost me $30,000. So, and guess what he got? He got $100.
Yeah,
yeah.
He bought a T-shirt from Harley.
Yep,
$99.
99 and 1 cent.
Yeah, Henry is awesome.
Yeah, Henry is. Yeah, but like I said, he comes over a lot of times just to visit and check out the new garage, and he'll have a do-rag on. I mean, that's how he rides. So, anyway, let's go with the next one here. Have you ever pulled out on the bike and forgot to put your kickstand up?
Oh, yeah. I bet he had stopped the bike and forgot to put the kickstand down and dropped the bike.
Oh, you've done that too?
I've done that too.
Ah.
Yep, many times.
Yeah.
I don't think I have on my Ultra, other than I haven't put it down and dropped it like Jim talked about. I did it on my Road King, and my Road King it doesn't click all the way up sometimes, so I got to double check it. So I have on that bike, but yeah, like Jim, I've dropped it, not putting it down. Usually I get it up, but
that kind of came from one of Motorcycle Mama's videos. She was talking about the kickstand, and Mister was giving her a little bit of grief, so I wanted to throw that in there. I told her my policy for my kickstand: before I start my motorcycle, the kickstand's up. That way I know it's up. It can't go anywhere until I start the bike. So that's kind of the way I handle it. But have I ever done it? I'm sure. Have I ever not put it down and dropped it? Knock on wood, so far, not yet. But if you've seen in my recent video about that, I did call it Memphis Mike because I figure he's a friend of the show. We can do that.
Yeah. Hey, if you're going to do it, get it on video, will you?
Yeah,
Hey guys, great. Thank you guys for a lot of questions here for next week. We have, I think, Bob, I got like 5 or 6 for the wife's live stream next week. So keep them coming. I appreciate it. Or we appreciate it. Sorry.
All right.
Since before you get started, Jack, thank you guys. A lot of activity in the chat tonight. You know, just going through here, Ozarks HD Riders, PA Biker 65, PA Biker. Ooh, God, that's a handful. Mike Martin, Vivid Black, Pete's 1800, Mr. McStash, Blacktop Devil, Motorcycle Mama. I don't know if I haven't missed anybody. 10 Wingman, Cranky Old Guy. I appreciate all you guys jumping in tonight and making the chat pretty interactive. So,
hey, Colin, do you see turn in money into noise? I think that's what it is. First time I've seen him in, so welcome.
I did not see him. I'm sorry.
Welcome to the craziness. He said many years ago a friend crashed and died because he forgot his kickstand. So it's an important safety reminder, right?
Sorry to hear about that.
Thanks for that.
Well, thank you guys for all the activity over in the side chat tonight.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, Jack, on with your unscripted that we do not know about rapid questions.
And did you guys know that newer Harleys will start in gear when they're on the stand? I didn't know that.
That doesn't sound like a good idea.
The clutch is pulled.
If the clutch is pulled. Okay. Well, that makes sense. Okay. Back to the questions. Number 322.
Shut up.
Why are you dissing me so bad, Clubber?
It's only one Clubber in this group, pal.
So you're saying I'm the only man in this group that has a club. Okay, never mind. Okay, let's move on.
Your wife just filed for a name change.
She said, "Can I be Mrs. Bodine understudy?" All right, so this one I want you to explain, so you're going to elaborate a little bit if it has ever happened, and I'm probably pretty sure it has. Have you ever dropped any of the motorcycles that you have owned? Kind of give us a background of how it happened.
Dropped them? Like damage them?
No, actually just dropped it. You know, you come to a stop sign, put your foot down, and find there's no earth.
No, I never done that.
No?
I pulled up to a group of people, said hi to them, and started to get off the motorcycle and dropped it.
Because the kickstand wasn't down.
Kickstand wasn't down. I was coming down a driveway, and there was a car parked at the bottom, so I couldn't stop. It was all gravel. So when I hit the brakes, the bike started to slide, and I went to put my foot down, and the water had dug a trench there. So I went too far, so I just jumped off the bike and did $5,000 worth of damage.
So you were gravel-tized. See, that's your thing.
Well, I'm not scared about the gravel. I just, be more careful.
Be a lot of careful.
Yep. Be observant of what you're riding into.
Colin?
So, yes, I've dropped my bike. So when we did a trip to New England a couple years ago, and I don't know if you guys know this, in Vermont, they have dairy bars. You guys ever heard of that? Like dairy bars. Like you can go get like a shot of 2% or vitamin D, whatever you want.
Yep.
Bob, you like skim. But when we went in there, we were turning around. I just had to throw that in there, dude.
What's a dairy bar?
We threw it. Everybody was pulling in, and I took the turn too quick, and I dropped the bike in front of everybody. And everyone was really cool about it. It's like, it happens, man. I mean, I've dropped it like twice, I think, or 2 or 3 times. And everyone's up, just pick it up, and then, you feel embarrassed, but then you move on. It happens. What are you going to do? Sorry about the skim milk, dude. Are you still upset about that?
That's all right. I thought we were together against Jack tonight, but whatever, dude.
I'll join back forces with you.
You're dead to me. I've dropped the bike twice. One, Colin, a little bit like you. When I had my Street Glide Special, I had Mrs. Bodine on it, and we were getting ready to stop at a restaurant, so we were going really slow, and I saw a parking spot opened up, so I went to turn right into it real quick, and of course I was too far, grabbed the brake, turned the wheel, bam, right? So right, like Jim said, right in front of the bar. Unfortunately, she was okay and all that stuff. And then I dropped my Ultra Limited with having the kickstand halfway down.
Wow.
So, I mean, it happens.
Yeah.
I dropped my new bike. Well, the last bike I had, the Electric Glide Special, the day I bought it, I was driving down to see Mrs. HDR somewhere, pulled in a gravel parking lot that was off balance. The bike started landing, just fell right over. That was the first time. I called the dealer and asked him if I can have my Sportster back because this motorcycle is too big and I didn't want it anymore. Of course, they told me, it's yours. Good luck riding it. And then one other time I was with Mrs. HDR, we were riding, stopped at a stop sign. I put my foot down and always looked down because there was no earth. I just put my foot in a pothole in the bike, and all I did was told her to step off the bike, and she got off without getting hurt. So it does happen. I mean, it happens to everybody. So don't ever – the biggest thing you're going to feel is if you don't get hurt is you're going to be embarrassed. So, yeah. But it's fine. Everybody does it.
It happens, right? By the way, Mrs. HDR wants to know if maybe later tonight you guys can go clubbing at, quote, a dairy bar. I don't know what that means, but –
that means a Dairy Queen.
Yeah. My wife's a little fanatic about that too.
Yeah, I know. She likes ice cream pretty well. So, okay. This one I wrote because of Bob all the time and all his videos. And if you guys don't capture the reason he says this, he'll point it out to you probably in this live session. If you can have either a heated seat or heated grips, which do you prefer?
Oh, heated grips. I don't need a heated seat.
Okay.
Heated grips. That's the plus. Better yet, with heated gloves is even better. Just don't even get the heated grips. Just go to gloves.
All right.
What?
Good call.
I put an upgrade on my bike a couple years ago where I got the heated grips. Best thing ever. They're amazing. Even in the summer, like it just keeps it,
Yeah, it's a little chilly.
Like 2 or 3, but they're the best. I love heated grips.
I would say about every other video, right, HDR, I will make some sort of comment about the heated grips on my motorcycle. It could be 100 degrees out, and I'll talk about them. And it's just a way to jab HDR because he doesn't have those. He hooks up a bunch of wires and crap to them and plugs them all into the battery, and that's how he keeps warm. I just take the little dial, HDR, and turn it.
But let's ask Jim. Jim, why is heated gloves better than heated grips?
Well, the difference is we ride Road Glides and he has an Ultra. The Ultra, the bat wing is there, so your heated grips are actually behind the bat fairing. On the Road Glides, it's actually higher. So when we're riding, we're getting wind on our hands because I have heated grips, and my winter gloves just don't keep the outside warm. So going to heated gloves works great. And then I turn the heated grips on and keeps the inside and the outside warm.
Yeah, you keep the backs of your hands warmer.
Is there any coincidence here that you're asking this question and bringing on one of your buddies as the guest? I mean, you're still sore about that little joke about the heated grips, aren't you?
No, I'm not. No. Here's why we're sore, folks. I think we bought our bikes, what, Bob? Maybe 2 months apart, roughly?
Yeah, I think so.
So, and mine is a Road Glide Ultra. His is an Ultra Limited. They're both almost identical colored motorcycles. Why would Harley put heated grips on one, but not on the other? That would be like Bob has a gas gauge and I don't. Doesn't make any sense. They both cost the same amount of money.
But they came out of the Road Glide Limited this year, right? And it's got heated grips.
Yeah, and they take the dash fence out.
Yeah, they take the dash fence out.
So I don't know what.
I think a regular Ultra does not have them.
Yeah, regular Ultra doesn't have heated grips.
So it's because it's a limited that you get it.
Yeah, that's why. So if I would have bought the Road Glide CVO, I could have had them.
Right.
Yeah.
And you could have done that with just cash you probably had in your pocket. So I don't know why you didn't get that bike, but.
Well, I could have did it with the $100 I got from when I sold you a motorcycle.
Yeah. I still got none of that spent on me, but whatever.
All right, guys. This is something. And Colin, I don't know what year your bike is. A 16, right?
It's a 17.
It's a 17. Okay, so I don't know how this falls in, but and I hear I watch a lot of YouTube videos. Imagine that. So, and I hear a lot of stuff bad about the newer engines, right? So if you can have a 103 Evo engine, or you can have your Milwaukee 8 107, why the different engines, and can you explain yourself? Jim, you want to pick up?
Well, I've had them both. I even had all the way back to 88. So the 107 just runs better. It really does. And you get past the 17s where they had some little issues, but no matter what bike you have, they all have a little issues. But the 7 still has more horsepower and more torque than what the 103 does.
How about you? Do you buy into the thing I see online all the time on chat groups? It doesn't sound like a Harley.
Mine sounds like a Harley. I put slip-ons. There you go.
Yeah. Okay.
There you go.
All right.
Mine sounds fine. I have the Milwaukee 8, and then in 2016 I had the 103. And I actually went out on a test ride, and when I think I had a 2016 Street Glide Special, took a test ride with the Milwaukee 8, and I loved it. I fell in love with it. It doesn't have nearly the amount of shake or the rumble that you have with like the older bikes. I mean, the Evo was a great engine. I think we all know that, but the Milwaukee 8 is pretty refined. I mean, you get people that have had a ton of issues. You hear that all the time, people bitching about the sumping and stuff. I've never had any issues, and I'd say probably, maybe 1 out of 10 does have issues, and that's a lot, but, when you go to these, I don't know about you guys, you follow those pages at all, where you go into like the Milwaukee 8 pages on Facebook or whatever, and it seems like every time you go in there, all they want to talk about is like the one person that has issues. But I've honestly, I haven't. I love mine, and I've been very pleased with it, and I can't complain. Can't complain at all.
Yeah, I think pretty much for the same reasons both of you guys. I love the Milwaukee 8. Haven't had any problems with it, but I agree with both of you.
Yeah, I think. Well, before my Electric Glide Classic, I think was it a 96? I guess it was
96.
Yeah, 96 with the Stage 1 upgrade. And I mean, I love that bike. It took us clear across to Wyoming and ran great. But then Jim made me get on one of these, Milwaukee 8 107s because he needed $100, and he said, "You're going to love it," and I did. So that day I started sending Mrs. HDR numbers. She started sending me divorce attorneys' phone numbers, and but we came to an agreement and we bought it anyway. So, but I like it. I think it sounds like a Harley because it is a Harley. Put slip-ons on it. I always say, guys, don't ever badmouth anybody else's bikes because you never know when you will own one.
Amen.
I think everybody's going to have everyone's got an opinion on this with if you had the twin cam or, whatever you guys, no matter what, people are passionate about their bikes, people passionate about their engines, and they're going to either debate you. I mean, as long as it fits me and I'm happy with it, I guess that's all that matters, right?
Well, and you guys looked, we had Mike Killy 7 on here, a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
And he bought that new Honda Goldwing, and it's an automatic. And people are like, it's nothing but an old man scooter. It's a big person scooter. And that is Mike's money, and he can do whatever he wants. He could buy a Ducati and ride it to Alaska for all I care.
That's a good bike.
It is a nice motorcycle. I'm going to test one this year. It doesn't have enough storage for us, but I'm going to test ride it anyway. So I don't know, Colin, are you taking the questions?
I've taken all the wives' questions for next week. Is there another one I missed? I've been trying to keep up. Did I miss one?
Mrs. Bodine likes chocolate chip ice cream, by the way. That was a question.
That's not a question.
It was. I'm telling you.
Are you still on the treadmill? Did you have a question I missed, Jack?
No, I just want to see if one of you guys have any questions from the chat room for tonight.
Actually, majority of the questions that I see tonight are all for next week. People are really digging the wives next week, and I've got like 6 or 7 questions about them, and that we'll share with you guys later for next week. Bob, did you have anything that you wanted to add? I think you had one that you wanted to bring up.
Yeah. I have one that I wasn't going to bring up, but I think I am. So, have you ever had a close call on a motorcycle, and how bad did it shake you up?
Me?
You're first.
Oh, great. So I went around a curve. I was an 1100 Shadow, Honda Shadow, and the light was flashing. Of course, I turned my turn signal, and it stayed on because they didn't automatically cancel. The car pulled out in front of me. I turned sideways and slid sideways and missed him by about 2 feet because he stopped. So, yeah, that kind of makes you pucker.
Yeah, before I get into, and I don't know if you're still on Motorcycle Mama. For those of you guys who don't know, I'm actually doing a video about it next week. I took I was unplugged for a week where I didn't get a chance to watch a lot of videos. So I went back and watched a couple today. And Motorcycle Mama, you had one that you were very, very heartfelt. And you talked about an incident where you had, I think, 2 instances where you almost wrecked because of some riders and you had to question your desire if you want to continue to ride. So first, if you're still on here,
She is.
that was awesome for awesome video. And if you guys haven't seen that, go check it out. That like actually, and I'm not trying to be corny here or anything, but that like touched me watching that video, how heartfelt it was. And so I get it, you know, like, and we talked about this previously. I think there was one of the questions in a previous stream where we said, if you ever got in a wreck, would you ride again? You know, and it kind of relates to what Motorcycle Mama was talking about, like, and how it impacts you. You know, I mean, I think a couple years ago, I had a close call on a highway when I was going almost 70 miles an hour, and a guy literally was like a foot from me that was passing me. Scared the living crap out of me going that fast. I mean, of course, the things I said are not family friendly. I can't repeat them here. But it pissed me off that someone had that much disregard and would swing over to my lane. So, yeah, there's been some close calls, and it makes you, like, pucker up big time. And, I mean, that's the thing about being a rider is, like, that's something that I've really focused on is that you have to be defensive all the time. You have to be aware of your surroundings and kind of know what's going on. But I'm not going to let it deter me because some asshat doesn't know how to drive or anything, and it's going to impact me. I'm just going to keep my head on a swivel and go. I know I kind of got off on a tangent there, Jack, but that's my take.
Yeah, you know what? I'll tell you what. I was the same way about the Motorcycle Mama video. And actually, I rode today, and I did a couple vlogs, and the first one was about the 5 things I think about safety-wise once I'm on the road on the motorcycle. So I did that video. I rode a little while, stopped at a dealership, and you know, I would tell you I haven't had a close call in years, to be honest with you. And today, on my way home while vlogging, I took a turn too hot, and I went over the center line, and there was a car coming. I asked these 3 guys before we got on for folks in the chat about if that's happened to them. And I've been contemplating whether I'm going to show it or not, because to be honest with you, it's a little bit embarrassing. But I think I'm going to, because I lost judgment. You know, when I did it, it took me a couple minutes while I was still riding to kind of get, you could hear me talking to myself. I probably won't play the words, but you know, I definitely went over the line on a curb and there was another car coming, and fortunately I was able to get back and it wasn't a problem. And I thought it was, even though I don't normally have had this problem, I thought it was target fixation. But when I watched the video back, I realized that it actually was not. I think I just took it too hot, and I'll show you that today. But it did shake me up today. So hasn't happened to me in 4 or 5 years. But I'll get that video because I'd like to really talk about it because I think it's important to show people.
Dude, it's important because I think it happens to a lot of us. I mean, I've done that. I've gone over when I'm riding, and I had to lean my bike quickly, you know, yeah. and all it could take is just a split second. If you don't lean your bike or if you go the other way, you're done. So It's good to talk about, you know, that stuff happens when you're riding. So, you know, I think it happens to a lot of people. You'd be amazed.
And a lot of times, normally when there's nobody coming, you're like, oh man, I should have took that a little tighter, or what was I doing? Today was a different deal. I mean, if I didn't immediately start making sure I was focused on, you know, the right target, I would have got hit today. So, and we were probably doing 50.
Yeah.
So it's scary.
Well, I think mine was when I first bought the Electric Glide Standard, Electric Glide Classic. I'm sorry, whatever the hell it was. But I was riding to work one morning. It was early. I seen this truck following me. It was like a tandem wheel truck. And I knew he was back there, right? And I'm pulled up. Somebody stops in front of me. I go to stop. All of a sudden, I just heard these brakes lock. You know how they say, look in your rearview mirror. I wasn't really paying attention. I heard brakes locked up, and he slid all the way into the other lane. It was a 2-lane road, and stopped in the middle. He was apparently distracted by his phone and not looking. I would have been dead. I mean, absolutely, positively dead. And I came home, and I never really explained that or talked to Mrs. HR to this day about that. She's probably listening to it now. It was quite a few years ago, but it does make you question, do you want to do this hobby, right? And I know I joke all the time, you can wreck in the car, but you got metal around you. At the campsite, and Jim will probably attest to this, we were parked in this campsite, and there was a campsite beside us. Well, I wanted to take my motorcycle through the grassy knoll and go around because I didn't want to push the 900-pound bike back. Well, when I did that, and Bob's the only one that knows this, I mean, I got the bike in there, and as soon as I cracked the throttle, the whole bike slid and was leaning over to the point where it was falling. I had no reaction to do but crack the throttle, and there was a higher power watching because the bike straightened up and I went right back off.
That'll straighten the bike out almost all the time, won't it?
Yeah, and it just worked. And I told Mrs. HR, I said, too bad we didn't have that on video. And she goes, you don't want to show that. That was a very stupid mistake. I said, I want people to know that just because you do YouTube videos and Jim rides thousands, 10,000 miles every year, anybody can make a mistake at any time. So, just be cautious and think a little bit. I wasn't thinking. I didn't know it rained for the past week. But
I appreciate everybody's comments that's telling me I should show that video. So I'll, especially since it was, tied to a safety video and the Motorcycle Mama video. It's one of those things that you just kind of like, man, how could I do that? I can't believe I did that. And then I thought maybe it was just a focus issue, but I was vlogging. I've done hundreds of videos while riding, right, on more technical rides than I was on today. So I will get that thing out here in the next week or so.
And I did a video the other day, and this is a precursor. I don't know when they'll show it or when it'll come out, but I got an argument before with Mike Hilly 7 because we argue on Facebook. And Jim will know. So maybe you guys do. Is it outside, inside, outside, or is it inside, outside, inside? When you're going into the curve, should you be on the outside? And on the big point of the curve, should you be on the inside anyway, and then come back outside when you through the curve? Is that right?
Because the outside and cut in.
Outside, inside.
Right. Outside, inside, outside.
Not like the guy today I was following a video where he was cutting on the inside and staying on the inside and crossing the line.
Right. Yeah.
Hey, Jack, one of the things I talked about today was lane placement. And I think everybody knows that if you divide a lane by 5, really the place to be is number 2 at the end of the day. But I've decided that I'm going to start watching myself a little bit more, especially after today, and make sure that I'm not just out for a casual ride, but to really get better at skills, right? And today was one of those days that kind of stuck out at me, right?
I think that's a big part of it too, Bob, is going away Thursday. I know I took a corner a little hot and I was pumping and braking, and Mrs. HDR knew that I was in the corner way too hot with her on the bike because we were heading way for the outside. Like we were going to go over the hill if I didn't correct it quickly. So that could happen.
Yeah. Yeah. Glide, Arkansas. That's a good comment. Left wheel track and stay for me. I'm with you there, but it's easy sometimes to get off that, right? It depends on sometimes the road, but if you're out on a road by yourself, sometimes you're just kind of cruising down the middle of the lane if there's no oil or anything. And a lot of times I'll have to catch myself, hey, get into good habits. So
I got screamed at by a guy one time on YouTube, said, get off the middle of the lane. That's where the oil and grease is, dumbass. He told me that in a comment. Is that right? I mean, right?
Yeah. So it's just like rainstorms. You get a thunderstorm or something and you're riding and it hasn't rained in the area for like 2-3 weeks. You really don't want to ride. Like in Oklahoma, I was in Oklahoma. 5 people died in the morning because the road hadn't rained for like 3 weeks and the roads were like ice. And It was the middle of summer. So always when it starts to rain, it hasn't rained for quite a while, give that consideration when you're riding. Maybe I need to pull over.
And what is the golden amount of time, guys? Anybody know? Like how, Jim, so you're saying it starts raining in the morning, so I wait until the next day to go home?
No, but
or should I wait 10 minutes or?
No, I'm just saying if it hasn't rained in your area for like 2-3 weeks, and then suddenly it rains, don't go just jump out and run on the roads.
Okay.
Might want to give it an hour or 2 to clear. Okay. I mean, if you're on the road, apparently I was on the turnpike and it rained for like 3 weeks.
So that's pointing it's the oils are coming out of the road.
Right. The oils will come out of the road. If there's an oil spill, that water will start to run and it'll make it just like ice.
Okay.
Bob and I had to take a quick break. And, one thing about me, I probably should have muted the phone. Hopefully you guys didn't hear that because my bathroom's like right next to the, computer.
Yeah, so. We heard you going to the bathroom on your phone.
Thank you. Yeah. Hopefully it was entertainment. So, yeah. So I guess Bob dropped off for a second too. He's like, oh, no, we're over the hour mark.
All right, so Jim, we're going to let you do your wrap up. Tell them about your channel again. We hope everybody goes over, check out Jim's channels. His travels are amazing. Him and his wife and I think there was 4 other people with him.
2 other couples.
Yeah, an amazing adventure, and he'll take you on a ride not only with himself but with other people. It's really cool. So check out his channel and hopefully you subscribe to it. But go ahead and give us a wrap up, Jim.
Yeah, we're doing like different places, wine tours, different trips. I've been doing this for quite a long time. I've been to like the Smoky Mountains several times. Next year we're going to Sturgis. So just making videos, and said, well, I'll just start sharing with everybody on the travels and the things I've learned over the last 25 years riding motorcycles. So, and I've done Sturgis twice. I've been to Daytona 3 or 4 times. It's not like the first time I've done this. And I've had bike trailers. I've used tents. This time now I have a timeout camper. So it's the experience of using a timeout camper. And my wife rides a Can-Am, so that's another twist. She has a Can-Am, towing the trailer with a Can-Am. I'll probably get another bike next year and tow my other trailer with it. So, and we're going to do a 2-week trip out to Yellowstone. So try to document all that.
Cool.
So,
You're right on. I think it's cool that you're, Jim meeting you last year, you're starting a YouTube channel and all that, you get
it's
a
all
lot.
HDR's fault.
No kidding. So, just getting a camera on and people want to hear and kind of, you can show people, sorry, my dog's barking in the background. And seeing kind of like your experience, like Yellowstone, I think that's cool. So going to Sturgis and checking that out. Like one day I definitely want to go to Sturgis, and I know HDR, you've gone, but I one day that is definitely a trip in my future.
Next
so
year.
thank you, Jim, for having, joining us tonight. We appreciate you. Look forward to seeing more videos from you. For me, thank you guys. A lot of people in the chat tonight, and I'm very, very interactive, and I appreciate it. I know we all do. And talking to you guys and some good topics tonight. And Jack, it really wasn't that bad not knowing the questions. I'll be the first to admit that.
All right.
Actually, of course, I'm lying after we get off here. But
Plan me then.
it was very cool. So, Jim, thanks again for joining us. And Bob, wrap up.
Yeah.
Too many bottles.
Yeah, Colin, can we go back to where you spilled beer on your shirt before the video started?
Yeah, I didn't want to share that.
Yeah, big thanks to Jim. I know, Jim, we got to know each other right before Jack made me move out of state, so sorry about that. Congrats on the new channel, everybody. Check him out. Super good guy, very knowledgeable. Also a chapter president, I guess that's the right words, right?
No, it's a director. There's no president. It's a director.
All right, direct. Well, you're presidential to me, buddy. So, so he's got a lot of great knowledge. So check him out. Thanks for everybody tonight. Feedback, Motorcycle Mama. Thanks for being on. We're all here to support you. Your tattoo is incredible. Hope it heals well. So make sure to check out her video and stop by Be the Rider PA's video, because it's definitely good stuff. Thanks for everybody for coming in tonight, and thanks, Jack, for hosting and making us uncomfortable. And sometimes we got to do stuff out of our comfort zone to grow, right?
That's right. You got to go clubbing. Well, you know what, everybody, thank you so much for joining us here this evening. And thanks to everybody that's been watching the videos and encouraging Mrs. HDR to get on the camera more. I'm trying. She's so shy. You don't see that, but I hear it after the camera shuts off. Why do you have to record me? What's wrong with just recording you? Why can't we just ride on the bike and talk? And I know you guys want to hear commentary from her, and she does have a lot. And thank you for all the encouraging words. She felt really good today after reading a lot of that stuff. It's funny, Cool. People think she's a hoot. I mean, she says stuff off the cuff, and we record it and we give it to you. So
yeah, you and her are good people.
Next week's going to be fun.
It worked out. Yeah, we had a lot of fun. It worked out really well. We'll be doing more. I think we're going on a wine tasting trip with Dan and Jim. So that's kind of the plan anyway. We think it's going to be a long weekend or short weekend, whatever. But thanks for everybody for watching tonight. And guys, thanks to each one of you for making it happen. And we'll talk to everybody next Sunday.
And just to clarify, Jack, is this so next week with our wives? This is going to be on Bodine's channel, correct?
Yeah, it'll be on Bodine 52.
So that will be a fun hour.
Yeah, and can folks please send me notes and tell me what a bad idea this is and talk me out of this, please, because it's
guys,
not going to be good.
Just to let you know, guys, we're going to start drinking in the morning to say that we were actually drinking all day that day. Okay, so we're ready. So we're ready.
All right. Hey, it's clubbing time.
All right, go clubbing. No, we'll see you guys. Take care, everybody. Bye for now. Bye.
That was good.